Hey y'all, you're listening to a podcast has no name. We're serving you the latest news, juicy views, and hot topics that make you go, ooh. I'm Edward Leon Jasper.
And I'm that super duper disco mover, make you tobble, make you timber, aka Matt Elam.
The timber didn't rhyme.
No, it didn't.
Hooray! How was your week?
Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier.
I don't think they will.
No, they
Right.
will. Yeah, the week was good. It was a pretty standard week. I didn't really surprise myself with anything special. Rebecca surprised me. She went to one of those, meetings. Sometimes you're on Facebook and you get a message from somebody you haven't talked to in like 25 years. And they're like, hey, and you start talking. It's surface stuff in the beginning. And not saying this is what happens to her, but this is what happened to me like multiple times in the past. And eventually it gets to the point where the person starts flattering you and they're like, I always knew there was something special about you. And you're like, okay, like, where are you going with this? And then they bust out with, so I started this new program and I really think you'll love it. You don't have to sell anything. You're just going to make a whole bunch of money if you just listen to this 40-minute spiel. Can you come to a meeting? And so she kind of got one of those things, and it just brought back so many memories for me because
Memories?
Yeah, I've been to like 5 of those from different.
And I've invited you to 4.
You've invited me to probably 2. And then the other 3, like one guy was at a gas station and he was like, hey man, I see your ID. Where do you work? I was like, okay, Daytona State. And he was like, yeah, man, you look like a hardworking guy. Hey, I'm trying to get this thing going and I really need some. So that's how I got that one time. The other time it was one of my classmates who were studying. He got me. And then the third time, I don't remember. Oh, there was a former coworker and she was trying to sell some vacations and so Rebecca had one of those meetings. So I just wanted to bring that up about the new sales system model. Cause it's always a catch. Like she was telling me about it, saying, yeah, I don't have to sell anything. It sounds really good. I'm like, yeah, but like, what are you going to be doing? She's like, I don't know. Cause I got to go to the second meeting. I was like, you see, like that's a red flag. That's how they get you. If it's such a good system, tell me what I got to do. And the first meeting and let me get this money tonight. Cause I'm ready.
Wait, so we still don't know what
we still don't know what it is. It's supposedly it's like a reward system. You continue on with your daily duties. You go to Walmart, you buy what you normally buy, except only this time you get cash back or you get reward points. Like it's always the same thing. There's going to be some type of charge because they got to make money somehow. So, Ed. Bro, how was your week?
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for asking. You are so good about asking me every single week and I so appreciate it. My week's been good. Let me tell you, 2 weeks ago, I told you guys that I went up to the Thousand Islands. I had my second and third wedding celebration. And, the day prior to me leaving was my last day in the gym that Wednesday. And today we're recording this on a Wednesday. And today was my first day back at the gym. And so it's been 2 weeks.
Ooh, that's hard.
Oh my God. It was really good to have that time off. But let me tell you what, I was supposed to go back last week, but literally every day I could never wake up. I could never get up and go to the gym because I'm the type of person where I like to work out first thing in the morning. So I usually wake up like 4:35 and then I'll wake up, I'll eat some breakfast and then I go to the gym. But we got this Tempur-Pedic mattress and oh my God, I can't get out of bed, dog.
Damn.
I can't get out of bed.
What size is that bed?
It's just a queen.
Okay.
But well, you know what I did though?
What's that?
Before going back to the gym, I had one last hurrah. You know what I mean? And I went to Chick-fil-A.
Ooh.
That was so good. But let me tell you what.
Hmm.
First, we had Gay Gate, okay,
Okay.
where they were all like, "We hate the gays." Well, they didn't exactly that, but essentially, if you want to boil it down to the
Uh-huh.
science, they said we hate the
Who
gays.
said that?
Uh,
Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A,
Oh, yes, I
yes,
remember that.
and now they're saying we hate buffaloes because I went to that Chick-fil-A. Okay, so now they have this new mobile app where you just order what you want on the app and then you go there and pick it up. Especially in New York, like we only have two Chick-fil-A's. So if you go during lunch, there is a line out the door, curved around the corner
Hmm.
every time. But if you order on the mobile app, you just, pre-order it, go up there, you pick it up.
Mm.
I pre-ordered my thing, spicy chicken sandwich, buffalo sauce, boom. I go up to the counter. I'm sorry, Ed, we don't have any more buffalo sauce anymore. It's been discontinued.
What? No.
I said, bitch, what? She said, yeah. Do you want something else instead? I was like, yeah, I want my buffalo sauce instead. She's like, we discontinued it because it had too much sodium in it. And I literally said, so? Like, I'll drink water and I'll flush it out. What does it matter?
When
But it,
I'm sorry.
well, go
No,
ahead.
well, when
No,
has Chick-fil-A ever cared about
about me.
about sodium?
That's who.
Like their chicken nuggets. Like, how about you care about calories? Because like one of their chicken nuggets has like 6,000 calories in it.
No, it does
Well, I'm
not.
exaggerating, but it's a shit ton of calories in their chicken nuggets. A shit ton.
Well, recently, New York City passed a bill that says that fast food places, they have to, or well, any restaurants or anything in general, if you have sodium past a certain level, you have to put an icon next to the menu item
Mhm.
that indicates that it has, high sodium. So I'm assuming that maybe it might not be on brand for Chick-fil-A to have that symbol. So at least in New York City, it's been discontinued. I mean, I Googled it earlier today and I couldn't find any information about it. So this might be just a regional thing, but I'm pretty pissed off. But what I did find in my drawer at work that I actually do have one buffalo sauce. And so I had that buffalo sauce. But I tell you what, it took me so long to open it because I was like, is this the last buffalo sauce ever to exist?
You know what you are now?
Huh.
You're an uppity Negro.
Why am I uppity? I just want my buffalo sauce.
Because you know Chick-fil-A discontinued that buffalo sauce and you still gonna defy them and save one in your desk?
The audacity to act free.
How dare you? They told you you can't have that no more. Boy,
Get back in line.
now get to the back of the line.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, speaking of this is why we never get anywhere. Because every time you say something, it reminds me of something else that happened. I don't even know why we do an agenda.
Me neither.
Because every time you talk, it's like, oh yeah, this happened. Oh yeah, this happened. But anyway,
I mean, we're best friends.
yeah, that's true. That whole conversation reminded me of today. I was trying to tell somebody they need to watch.
You're my best friend. Sorry, go ahead.
What?
You're my best friend.
Yo, that makes me feel so good inside. It really does.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I was telling somebody they need to watch Wild Wild West. You remember that movie?
Yes, I remember. Will Smith, right?
Yeah, and it was so bad back in the day.
Yes, it was.
But but now because of all the racial tension, I was rewatching like one of the scenes, and it felt so good to like it was so on point.
Were there racial tensions in that movie?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like like it was back in the day. There was one part where you thought Kevin Kline was dressed up as a woman and was trying to infiltrate the party. And so Will Smith saw the woman that looked like what Kevin Kline was looking like and started dancing with her and was like, oh my God, you're the ugliest woman I've ever seen. This and that. Started drumming on her titties. And she ends up slapping him. And then like somebody's like, hang him. and it ends up being Kevin Kline that says hang him because he has a plan, but they take him outside and he's like pleading with all these colonial white folk on why they shouldn't hang the black man. And
Oh hell no.
he was like, he was like, y'all a bunch of rednecks, but let's look at that word, rednecks. Red is powerful. And that's all I remember. I'm sorry. I built up to a whole lot of nothing, but it's a whole bunch of racial comedy in there. And so I'm going to download that tonight and watch that real quick.
You mean you're gonna buy it?
That's what I said. I'm going to buy it from Universal Studios
Oh, okay.
for $24.99 for the DVD copy.
Which I do want to say quite expensive nowadays.
Quite
people.
expensive.
So I just want to let you know, if you don't want me to pirate it, then you need to bring down these prices.
And it's not like you throwing in a fucking movie ticket for the next Universal movie. I mean, come on, like the movie ticket is already $13 for 3D or IMAX. You got to give us something. If you want
Give us a little something.
If you want us to pay for your shit, you got to give us something.
Now, this is the last point that we're moving on, okay? Because I have a gripe, because we have these companies that I want to watch this new TV show, blah blah blah, and then you go on their website to watch it, and it's like, oh, log in with your Time Warner account. Oh, log in with your Bright House account.
Yeah,
and I'm like, you know what? If you're gonna make it this hard for me to watch your shit, I'm just gonna download it, because it doesn't make any sense. I can do one little click on my computer to watch this, and you're gonna make me do a sign and authentication that takes 30 minutes.
Right? No, it's not happening.
It's not happening. So I don't understand why these companies do this. It's like, get with the times, okay? Anyway. On to some hot topics.
Hot topics.
Hot topics. Yes. Oh, you heard that vibrato?
That was nice, bro.
That was pretty good.
She trying to try out for the voice or something?
This is a voice.
This is a voice.
We've done that like every episode.
No, just one other episode.
I think 2 other episodes, the voice.
Nah.
Okay. All right. What you got for me?
For what?
Hot topics.
Hot topics.
Hot topics.
Yeah, so just real quick. I don't have anything too hot because I see you got the true hot stuff down there. But
hitting you with the hot stuff.
I've always been interested in crime. I used to want to be a criminal profiler, and I was very intrigued to see that today, as a matter of fact, so this is real hot off the press.
Hot off the press.
The FBI decided to close the DB Cooper skyjacking case, which, if you don't know,
I have no idea.
Okay, well, it's the only unsolved skyjacking case in the history of the world. This guy that we only know him as DB Cooper essentially boarded a plane to, I think he was headed to Seattle. He had a briefcase full of wires and red things that look like dynamite, and grabbed a stewardess and was like, "Hey, I've got a bomb on here. Land the plane right now or I'll blow everybody up." So they landed the plane in Seattle, and he basically exchanged all the passengers on the plane for $200,000, and he made the plane take back off and head to Mexico City. And halfway, or at some point on his way to Mexico City, DB Cooper, also in his ransom details, he asked for $200,000 and four parachutes. And then halfway to Mexico City, he jumped out of the plane with the $200,000 strapped to his body, one of the parachutes, and disappeared.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and they found obscure evidence over the time, like a kid found, I think it was like $5,800 in 20s that matched the serial numbers on the money that was given to DB Cooper.
Wow.
So very, very obscure clues have been found over the time, but they have never found DB Cooper, and they just decided to close the case.
When did this happen?
This was in the 70s.
Oh my God.
So it's not that long ago.
No.
Yeah. So,
But still, it is pretty long for them to like still be actively trying to do something about it before closing it.
right. And I mean, every now and again, they'll get a clue. And the guy that was talking from FBI was basically saying, we'll get a clue here and there, but it basically takes away from a victim of the present. And we're still trying to catch this guy from the past who might be dead, who might be, 65, 70 years old in a wheelchair for all we know. So they decided to close the case. They just took that L.
Damn, you take that L, FBI.
And DB Cooper has done the perfect crime.
You know what? I wish we had an applause track right now because can I get some pointers?
Yeah.
Can I get some tips?
Can we get some tips, DB?
Because I guess maybe my real concern for not robbing a bank is that I'm going to get caught.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if you just tell me how not to get caught, then I'll do it.
We can get that money.
Then I can get that money. Because, we all about, on the podcast that has no name, we all about that easy money.
Easy breezy.
Do not want to work for it.
No, we don't. We just want that quick and fast, easy money. That's the most valuable money that's out there.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows quick and fast is the way to go.
And it'll last.
It'll last the longest.
Yeah. Great investment.
Duh. Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
We had in our guy group text today, we had a question about the LBGTQ.
Okay.
And one person thought that queer was an offensive term. Could you elaborate or explain that? Because
okay.
Because to my knowledge, I said it wasn't, but I said there is a difference between queer and gay. Because I think you told me that one time, but I didn't remember what the difference was.
Okay. Yes. Now, this is from my understanding.
Okay.
That queer actually refers to genderqueer. Mm-hmm. So it means that I don't necessarily subscribe to being identifying as what society says is a male as a female. That I can be a female and wear and be a quote unquote tomboy, or I can be a male and wear a dress. It doesn't mean anything.
So you could be straight and be queer.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yes.
Understood.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, I'm sure they're going to listen to this at some point. If not, I'll go ahead and educate them on that. Thank you for that. Also, hot topic. Otherwise,
hot topic.
I saw an interesting picture that it was I don't know what you call it. It was like a modulation between Black Lives Matter.
Oh God.
All Lives Matter.
I'm ready for this one.
And Blue Lives Matter.
Yeah, I'm ready.
And the picture was that it said basically, on the Black Lives Matter, it said, if you have a problem with this, which was Black Lives Matter, and you believe in this, which was All Lives Matter, but you also support this, which was Blue Lives Matter, then it said that, I'm trying to remember the word. It was like, then the objectifying word is black.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Basically saying that if you can agree that all lives matter and blue lives matter, then what's your problem with Black Lives Matter? Mm-hmm. And I thought that was hot. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because it's easy for us as Black people to be like, why don't you understand this? But, some non-Black folk might not get what the movement is about. Like they hear Black Lives Matter and they instantly hear only Black Lives Matter.
Well, you know what the problem is? Well, it's not a problem, but the fact is...
What's the fact?
Is that white lives have mattered since we took over America.
Okay.
From the Native Americans.
Mm-hmm.
So white lives matters isn't the issue.
Right.
At all. The issue is that since we were brought to America, as slaves,
Mm-hmm.
black lives have meant absolutely nothing. And still here in 2016, black lives mean absolutely nothing. In 1995, Michael Jackson wrote a song called They Don't Really Care About Us.
I
Let
love
me
when they don't really care about us.
That's right. Let me tell you some of the lyrics. This is a 21-year-old song, okay?
Okay.
Skinhead, deadhead, everybody gone bad. Trepidation, speculation, everybody allegation. In the suite, on the news, everybody dog food. Blackmail, blackmail. Throw your brother in jail.
Ooh.
Okay? All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. This is about police brutality. Now, this is a 21-year-old song. He was talking about the issue that we are facing right now, this week in 2016.
Yeah.
Is that black lives don't matter to anyone else who's not black. And what we're trying to tell you people is that black lives matter.
Mm-hmm.
And all lives can't matter unless black lives matter. So what I feel like this all lives matter thing is like trying to take away from is the word black, like you just said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like whenever people hear the word black, white people are afraid of black people.
Mm-hmm. Some white people.
The idea of white people are afraid of black people. They are afraid of what they represent. For some reason, I feel like when people think of black people like coming to equality, it means that we're going to overthrow them. I'm not trying to like enslave white people. I just want to be equal. I just don't want to be killed when I'm going to the corner store in a hoodie and a pack of Skittles.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And the Blue Lives Matter thing, like the Blue Lives Matter is like, honestly, it's disrespectful. I feel like it's disrespectful to the Black Lives Matter cause, because how come you just can't say all lives? If you're going to already say all lives matter, then the Blue Lives Matter thing can be included in the all lives matter thing.
There you go. By default, if you don't believe in Black Lives Matter, then you can't believe in Blue Lives Matter.
Exactly. You cannot.
You can't do it, because then you're contradicting yourself.
So, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to point that out. I just wanted to drop that in the listeners' ears.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Thank you for that. Well, I'm going to go ahead and keep that going.
Oh.
Because as we know, we had the Dallas attacks.
Yes.
The day after we released our podcast.
That was the night of.
The night of.
Yeah. Like after we said goodbye, I went to Facebook and it was live streaming that 2 officers had been shot. And I was like, what is going on? And in the morning I saw it had risen, the death toll had risen to 5.
Now, in last week's podcast, we also said that we're going to have Black Lives Matter or else.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I want to say that we didn't have anything to do with this. Right. And we don't wish death or harm on anybody.
And don't condone that. Like what that fool did. And do not condone it.
But I do want to say, okay, I don't know. I want to say, like, how could this have not happened?
Mm-hmm.
If not this time, then eventually. Like, this was bound to happen. I mean, you cannot take members of a community day in and day out with no repercussions at all and expect for not one person to take retaliation.
Yeah.
At least one.
And it goes back to, like, I remember in high school, leaving school one day and walking through the parent pickup, and like I walked by and a person like locked their van doors. And that sound is loud. Like you hear it's like clink clink. And I was and like I slowed down walking, and I wasn't how I am now then, but like the fact that it made me slow down, like it upset me that they didn't know me. I'm a high school kid, just walking to my mom's car, and because I walked by, in my head, because I walked by, they lock their doors. But now, on the other hand of that, there's two sides. It's like, what do you teach your kids? Like, if you see somebody that you're scared of, do you teach them that it's better to be safe than sorry? Or do you teach them that, if you lock your doors because you see somebody scary, you might offend them? And that's the big predicament. So now I'm not as offended as I was then, because I get it. I understand, but I'm still upset that they didn't give me a chance, because I'm not even that type of person. But I understand. If they did fear me, I understand why they would want to lock their doors.
Yeah, but also how many times, like I've been walking by people's cars where they're not even in the cars. Like, let's say like they're parked outside of a restaurant and they're inside the restaurant.
Oh yeah.
And they do a little bleep, bleep.
Toot, toot.
Just let you know, bitch. Okay, I'm near my car.
I got an alarm system.
I got an alarm system, and I see you. I want you to know that I see you.
Yeah, it's so embarrassing, and it makes me want to snap. It makes me want to fucking bust their windows. It's like, oh, so you want to turn on your alarm because I'm right here? Well, let me let your alarm go off so you can see that it's being utilized.
Let me make sure that this is working for you. I'm doing you a favor.
Yes, one of my favorite videos online is I don't know who made it, but it's a light skinned cat with green eyes, looks like Michael Ealy, and he does like a Dear White People type of sketch. And he's in the elevator, and he's like, he walks into the elevator, and the white lady like goes into the corner and clutches her purse, and then he basically does like a PSA, and it's like, I'm not even that type of person, but because you did that, and I think he like jumps at her or something, and she does a little like a little scream, but like that's what it makes us want to do. Like if you and me and Rebecca was talking about it, if you treat people like thugs and animals for a certain amount of time, eventually like they're gonna start to act like, oh, you want a thug? Oh, you want an animal? Well, I'm gonna be an animal and I'm gonna be a thug. Mm-hmm. It's only a matter of time before that happens.
And it's really human nature. Like, I don't think that's a black, white, anything thing.
I don't think so either.
It's a human nature. If you treat a person like something, eventually they're gonna have to act that way.
Right.
If you treat me like a vicious, malicious murderer, eventually I'm going to have to act that way. It's just nature versus nurture. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. But, my dad is the one who brought to light that people were being racist about that stuff. When I was walking by cars and people would, do the boop, boop. Mm-hmm. Like, he would get mad for me, and at first I didn't really understand what was going on, and then eventually I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of that happened, we're just living in, like, fucking Port Orange, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
God, Port Orange.
Port Orange, Florida.
Good old Port Orange.
Fuck Port Orange.
Port White, you know what I'm saying, dog?
It's like, man, there's a lot of nice people in Port Orange, but there is a lot of backwards ass racist fucks in Port Orange.
Yeah.
And yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say that what do I want to say? I want to say that earlier in the show I said I don't feel like it's going to get better. Uh-huh. Because as I see these things happen, I see how big this situation is, and how whenever we come out and say Black Lives Matters, how Black Lives Matter, that we still have all these people saying all lives matter. Mm-hmm. I truly don't understand that. Why can't we take the focus off of you for a second and put it on one culture? All lives matter, of course, but we're talking about this life. Right. We're talking about the black men in particular,
right,
that are getting murdered out here in the street because we have this brotherhood, this fraternity that is the police system. That, again, Michael Jackson was talking about 21 years ago, and you have Al Green talking about 30 years before that. I mean, it's just like, this is nothing new at all.
Yeah.
So white people, like, I understand that you're just now seeing this stuff, and I really appreciate that you are. But this situation is big, and I think what we need to do is we have to dismantle the police. We need to retrain every single person. The same way that when we had Eric Garner, the same way Bill de Blasio, the New York City mayor, said, we're going to spend so much money on completely retraining the cops and never did. That's what we need. We need the whole justice system to be completely remantled. We have to change something.
Yes.
And I'm afraid that that'll never happen. The same way with this gun reform shit.
Right. Which is something I was happy that I mentioned last week, was that our police officers are essentially doing, like, they're going into situations that they don't have any business going into, like bank robberies. And I was saying that we need to, like, do SWAT for that, do special tactics units for that. Like officers need to be doing officer stuff, like patrolling the streets, like writing tickets, responding to domestic disturbances, things like that. Like they don't need to be doing this stuff that would seemingly require them to use their firearms. And then that statistic, over 500 people have been killed by the police in 2016 so far. And you look at other countries and they're not having this issue. Like, you have to look at the other countries' laws and look at their gun policies and things like that. And, you know, I don't know if I'll ever get this whole gun debate, because all the people that I know that have guns, all they do is buy bullets and go shoot them at ranges or go shoot them in dirt piles. Like, why are you fighting so hard to pay for expendable pieces of metal that you could just empty into paper and dirt? I don't know if I'll ever understand that argument. It's not like anybody here is buying their guns because we're going through a revolutionary change and we got people busting in our windows every night. Like, this ain't no bad area. Like, this is America. Like, yeah, we have murder and stuff, but this isn't some of the worst areas of the world,
right?
Where they actually have to probably sleep with their weapons.
Exactly.
So I don't think I'll ever get that debate at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I will either, especially because I can't get my marijuana for free, or not for free, but I can't get my marijuana. Oh my God, my marijuana legally.
Can I just smoke a little weed? Just a little.
Just a little bit. No, but you can buy a gun if you want to.
You can buy a gun and go kill somebody that steps in your grass. I mean, if you want.
You can go kill somebody, but you can't, like, just enjoy your life and chill out and watch a movie.
And I'm still mad. Like, I'm still mad about Trayvon Martin. This idiot was told to fall back, leave this kid alone. He's not doing anything wrong. Just walking home. And because Trayvon Martin defends himself with his fists from this, as far as Trayvon knew, like, this dude was a pedophile. He was a kidnapper. He didn't know who this man was.
And to listen to the tapes of Trayvon screaming like a child, because he was. Like, screaming like a child and still get killed. And for this idiot to still get off, and then he wants to sell his gun. Did you see that?
I saw it.
I mean, they don't care about us. Is what I want to say. Like, honestly, I think that a lot of people think that the black culture is just saying this stuff because we're paranoid, or we just want people to feel sorry for us, or we want to live on welfare for the rest of our lives, or we just don't want to work for a check. We just rather sell drugs and be guns. The problem is that they don't care about us.
Right.
And we need people to understand that we are getting murdered out here. Mm-hmm. We have problems in our community the same way white people have problems in their community. Mm-hmm. The same way Asians have problems in their communities. Mm-hmm. It's just that the whites and blacks have the biggest stake in the game. You know what I mean? Because we have the
Yeah.
most history together. And for
Right.
whatever reason, we just get the brunt of the game and people don't trust what we say. It's like I can say this until I'm blue in the face, but it doesn't even fucking matter because all I'm doing is complaining. Or all I'm doing is I just don't understand. And like honestly, it's really getting to me and it's terrifying.
It is.
It's terrifying that I have to live in this place that I go to work and no one says anything about what I just had to encounter. that 3 of my brothers were murdered.
Yeah.
For absolutely zero reason. I don't care if they had a gun. I don't care if they were selling drugs. It doesn't matter what they were doing. They weren't doing it at that point, and they weren't doing it enough to get murdered. When someone can go and shoot up a movie theater and still get handcuffed.
Right.
And said, oh, he just was off his meds that day.
Right? It's always mental. It's always mental something versus whatever they call black folk.
Thugs.
Always thugs.
So I just,
and
that's just kind of how I feel. I feel very mad.
How old was Trayvon Martin?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I think he was 15 when he was murdered. I think 15 was the magic number because I remember when his, I think it was 3 years when we started celebrating his 18th birthday.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, damn, like that was 15 years. 3 years ago. And then Tamir Rice.
Oh my God, I don't know. How old?
12.
What?
12. Playing with the toy gun. Murdered by the cops. And it's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. And it comes down to if Tamir Rice was Billy Blankenship from Ormond Beach, Florida, and was playing with a toy gun, and the cops came and murdered him, that shit wouldn't fly.
No, not at all.
At all. And that's what Black Lives Matter means.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, man.
Yeah.
That is what it is about.
Listen, we gave you guys the facts last week. We gave you guys the numbers last week. Didn't matter.
Didn't matter. Trayvon was 17.
Okay. Still too young.
Still too young. Couldn't even buy a lotto ticket yet.
But didn't get shot. So
still in high school, still a kid. He was old enough to die though.
Okay. I don't know. I can't go to this next topic.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Pokemon Go.
Yeah, because we could talk about Black Lives Matter all day because it's our reality.
Yeah.
But y'all don't want to hear that shit anyway. Y'all don't want to hear the real. So let's talk about that fuck shit.
Yeah. I'm having a lot of fun playing Pokemon Go.
So how about all the people getting robbed and yeah, like
murdered?
It's only been out for like a week and a half.
Pillaged
already.
Oh, listen, dog. Okay, I could easily see how this happens.
Yeah.
Easily. Have you been playing it at all?
No, I downloaded it, but I have not played it.
Oh my God. First off, it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a fun experience. And kudos to Nintendo.
Okay.
Because they cracked the code. Yeah. So I'll give you a little like overview of how the game is played.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially what happens is that you are a Pokemon trainer and the idea is that you're going out and you're catching Pokemon. So what the game does is that it picks landmarks around your city. Mm-hmm. And at these landmarks, they're called checkpoints. And at these checkpoints, you can get Pokeballs, you get items like potions, things like that, to strengthen your Pokemon and, whatever. So at these points, you can also turn them into lures, which a
Mm-hmm.
lure attracts more Pokemon to that area. So like in my neighborhood, I have about uh 7 to 10 Pokestops. And
Okay.
so right across the street from where I live, there is a Pokestop, and then someone often turns that on into a lure. And so you can see it in the app, and it like has flowers all over it, and it means that it's attracting Pokemon. So basically you have to go out of your house, you have to stand at the spot, and you wait for Pokemon to come. And if you're living in like a not good area, or even if you're living in a good area and you want to go to a Pokestop that's in a obscure area, you're gonna have to stand there for about 10 to 15 minutes,
Uh-huh.
and you can get robbed there easily. Now, also, what people do is they turn on lures in areas that aren't very good to attract other people. They've
Ooh.
been stealing phones, they steal your wallet. Um, but it's also doing some good because businesses have reported quite an increase in sales, because if you're lucky enough to have a restaurant that's also a lure, like across the street from my house, there is a restaurant that's a gym.
Mm-hmm.
So there's also like Pokemon gyms that you go to and you fight your Pokemon against other people. It's the only way to get your Pokemon stronger is to fight them,
Okay.
or to like buy points to make them stronger. But the
Damn.
gym is much easier. So you can just go to these restaurants, go to the fucking open bar, or
Mm-hmm.
not open bar, but like happy hour. Just sit there and play with your Pokemon. I mean, it's ingenious. Like the idea of it is ingenious. And so a couple days ago, we went out to the Pokestop across the street from us, and like there were like 7 people that came, and like we met this guy named Mike, and we were like talking to him, and he was really cool. Like a bunch of other people came over, and they were like, "Oh, who turned on this lure?" I mean, it's honestly like bringing people together.
Yeah.
Um, this weekend there is a Pokemon bar crawl,
Uh-huh.
so I think I might go to that, where we're just gonna walk around Brooklyn and drink at different bars and try to catch as many Pokemon as we can.
That sounds awesome.
It's so much fun. I mean, it's honestly, it really is ingenious, and I think this is really going to change the way that mobile games are made going forward.
Mm-hmm.
But like, basically, just some stats. Nintendo, hmm. Nintendo, Nintendo raised its total market cap to $28 billion.
Wow.
Billion with a B.
Wow. They got
Yeah,
money.
they got money now. Okay, so um, Go made its way to the top of the App Store in 4.5 hours, which
Oh,
is a record among any game.
wow.
Yeah. Um, so I don't know if you knew this, but Nintendo was like facing some hardships in the past,
Uh-huh.
because essentially what's happening is the console system is, for Nintendo at least, is not really doing too well. And they were pretty hesitant about releasing any mobile apps because they were afraid of cannibalization. So if I release a mobile app, then everyone's going to do mobile, and I definitely won't get anyone to buy my consoles.
Right.
But they released this app through a third party, and it's been going really, really well. Obviously, as you can see, um, everyone's talking about this game. It's doing really well for the business. So now Nintendo is like, okay, I think we got something good, and I think some good things are going to be happening.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try it out.
I think you should. I mean, I haven't talked to anyone who has tried it and didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very easy game to play. Just play it while you're walking around. And what I will say is, I'm interested to see about the weight loss that happens, in like a couple months,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to in order to like really play this game, you have to do a lot of walking. Um, and, I mean, it's going to happen. Like, people are going to lose weight from this game. People are going to meet friends from this game. People are going to be a lot more social. It's going to happen.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's great. Did you hear about Bernie Sanders?
Endorsing Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Good for him.
Great for him. Because that made me feel a little bit better about voting for her.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And for his, like, I don't know, persona.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because it was getting a little sad that he was going to keep running, even though everybody knew, including him, knew
Yeah.
that he couldn't run
Yeah.
or he couldn't win. So, like, what's the point?
Right. Right. But
It's also kind of like, where's that money coming from?
yeah, but it's also kind of like when I play my pop in law in some dominoes, and that's a Jamaican thing, and he's really good. But I still like to see the game played out because I always think I'm gonna win up until the last moment where like I can actually see every like I like to see the game played out, whereas he can almost like he can basically count who has what chip or tile, whatever,
What
and
do you
then just
mean?
it,
He's counting cards?
well he's not counting. Well, essentially, yeah, he's like counting tiles, because he's good at it. But even though he can do that, it's like no, like no, like you go. Like I still want everybody to go their turn and let's finish the game out because you don't know what tile I have. You might think you know what tile I have, but you don't know what tile I have. So you don't know till you know. So let's play this game out, and then once I see that I can't win anymore, then I'm gonna throw in the towel. So I fucks with Bernie because I get it.
Well, I mean, I also think that he was just waiting to see what was going on with this email thing.
That could be true as well.
Because after Hillary Clinton did not get indicted for the email scandal, it was kind of like, you're definitely not going to get it. If she got indicted, then that would be a different story.
Right. That's true. Hillary Clinton. I saw a nice commercial about her, some of the stuff she was doing, like reducing nuclear weapons and a couple of other things, but I liked what I saw, and it put me at ease with voting for her.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could just all get along?
Imagine that concept.
Just thinking about that, wouldn't it be great if we just could just stop with the nonsense and just be human beings and just live and let live?
Yeah.
Nah.
Human race.
That'll never happen.
Did you ever seen those videos of the white lady who's like they call her the race whisperer or something like that? She's like a really small, she used to be a teacher, small white lady with white hair and glasses. She's been on Oprah a bunch of times.
No.
Oh man, you gotta find those videos. Like Oprah just did a "Where Are They Now" thing on her, and basically she had an episode of Oprah back in the '90s, and she separated as soon as all the guests came in. She separated the blue-eyed guests from the brown and other colored-eyed guests, or the blue and green, like separated them out. And basically, the brown-eyed guests got breakfast while they were waiting for the show to go on. They got let into the show first, and the blue-eyed guests didn't get any breakfast. They were forced to wait outside. So the blue-eyed guests were mistreated, and then the brown-eyed guests, which included a lot of black people. So none of the audience members knew it was a race demonstration or a race experiment. They all thought it was specifically just for eyes, and before you knew it, like the brown-eyed people started like telling stories about how they had stupid blue-eyed friends, and yeah, like my blue-eyed friends are always asking me for the answers on my test, and stuff like that. And eventually they catch on to, that's how it is for minorities and black people in the country.
What?
Is because of the color of your skin, like you're given different things and treated differently. It was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know her name, but if you just YouTube race whisperer, I'm sure she would pop up.
Race whisperer.
Shh.
Calm down, black man. I'm gonna check that shit out.
Please do. It's only 5 minutes.
That's it.
It's like
You ain't got 5 minutes in your fucking day? Damn. Well, let me tell you who did give us 5 minutes.
Who gave us 5 minutes?
Simi8466.
What up, Simi8466?
She wrote us a little iTunes review.
Okay.
You want to know what she said?
Let me hear it.
She said, I'm going to try to say it how she might say it.
Okay.
The Simi8466. I don't know who you are, but thank you so much for writing this little
Stranger.
iTunes review. She said, cannot stop listening to this dynamic duo. They just fit together so well. They're so funny and make me feel like you are part of the conversation. Sorry.
She was smoking.
She's smoking.
Okay, I got it.
You have to listen to it. Cannot wait for more.
Well, guess what, Simi856796? Some more is coming tonight.
It's coming right now.
Right now. Shout out to Simi8466.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Now, you've been married for how many years?
Ooh, going on 5 years this October.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Married for 5 years?
Yeah, 2011. We got married.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Does it feel like it's been that long?
You know, let me tell you something about that first year of marriage felt like 10 years.
Really?
Yeah. And Rebecca will tell you the same thing. Like we got married and we were like, okay, we did this, but like where's the medal? Like it was hard.
Mm-hmm.
We were annoyed with each other. I feel like for a point we didn't like each other.
Mm-hmm.
But after we got over that, after we talked about, because there was some other stuff going on as well. And after we got over all that, then we started to appreciate each other. You know, we actually got into the relationship. And after that, it's been smooth sailing. So does it feel like 5 years today? No, it doesn't. Did it feel like 5 years, maybe 3 months after we got married? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Yeah, I get that. I'm about 3 months into my marriage, and it's been feeling like a decade. Woo, yeah, I think we already broke a couple doors.
Oh no!
A couple dressers ruined.
Ooh. You gotta let that anger out somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, why not take it out on the furniture that you spent hundreds of dollars on?
Better the furniture than the face.
Well, that's true, because the face is a business card.
You gotta make the money somehow.
Got to make the money somehow. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The dicks aren't going to suck themselves. Is what I'm trying to say. That's what I've been trying to say since I got here, since episode 1, people.
Oh, man.
So, okay. Well, so you have a lot of insight on this. I have a question. Actually, a listener had a question, really.
Okay.
About communication in a relationship.
Woo.
What advice do you have over communication? And do you feel like it's okay to argue over text?
Ooh. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
You do not want to argue over text message. Now, I can't speak for women, but I can speak for myself as a man. And maybe other men feel differently, but text messaging is so exhausting as it is in general, just because so much can be misconstrued through text. And then women traditionally will send you these well thought out long texts like these.
Stop it.
When me and Rebecca used to fight over text, it would be like 3 phone screens of text message. And I would be so exhausted and flabbergasted that she was able to type that much. It would just immediately exhaust me from arguing. And I would just want to be like, I understand. Because you win. Yeah, text messaging over fighting. Wait, what? Fighting over text messaging? Don't do it. You need to call that person, talk to them. But yes, communication is the most important thing in a relationship. You have to talk about everything. If you thinking about fucking another girl, you need to tell your wife that you thinking about fucking another girl. Because as far as you know, maybe your wife want to fuck another girl too.
Oh.
If you thinking about fucking another man and you married to another man, tell your husband I want to fuck another man. Because as far as you know, your husband might not give a fuck that you fuck another man. But if you go behind your partner's back or your spouse's back, that's when the betrayal kicks in, and that's when the fights start happening. So open communication is key, because if you think about it, and let's break it down real tight. Who can be mad at, who could be upset with you for being honest with them?
Right.
Nobody has the right to be upset. They might be hurt, they might be sad, but nobody has the right to be upset, because anger is not an emotion. Despite what people may tell you, anger is a symptom. So if you find yourself,
goodness,
yes, if you find yourself being upset, shout out to Rebecca. You know, I can't take credit for that. If you find yourself being upset, ask yourself why you're upset, because your anger is a symptom of being sad, feeling like this whole Trayvon Martin, Black Lives Matter. I feel helpless. So that's usually why I'm pissed, because I feel like people don't care. So if you're angry, ask yourself why you're angry, channel into that inner emotion, and then work on the true issue. That's my advice.
Wow. That's pretty deep.
Yeah, that's helped me out so much.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I hate to argue. First and foremost, I feel like I'm just not good at it.
Oh my gosh, me too.
I'm just not good.
Yeah.
I can't think of things on the fly. Now, if you want to, you can say what you want to say to me. Okay, I'll let you get out that, and then like give me like an hour or two, and then I'm like, well, you remember when you said that thing? Well, I remember that one time.
Yeah, man. That's,
you know what I mean?
That's me too. Yeah,
I need about a good hour delay, and I will come back strong.
Yes. See, I feel like I'll be a good lawyer. Like, you know, you give me time to get my case together, like a couple months, and I'll be straight.
That's fair. Maybe that's what we should go into.
Maybe.
Being a lawyer. I never thought about that. You know, I was thinking about that for a little bit, but just because I wanted to be like cool and like, I don't know.
No. What would you be? A prosecutor or a defense attorney?
A prosecutor.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
definitely a prosecutor.
Just because, you know, guilt would set in for me, I think.
Yes.
Especially if I feel like, kind of like the OJ thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You know, they asked him so many times, did you actually do this? Mm-hmm. And I know that they all knew that he did.
Right.
But they still defended him.
They still defended him. And that was their job. Like they had to. And I don't want to be put in that position.
Right, exactly. I don't want to be put in that position, and I'm not going to let it happen. So that's me.
Great.
But when it comes to arguments over text, what I will say is that I'm kind of on your side about just texting in general. I'm not really like a conversational text person. Mm-hmm. I feel like there are some people who just like, they'll just have a conversation over text. And past like maybe 3 or 4 texts, I don't want to do it anymore. You know, I don't want to feel obligated to respond to a text message, anything like that. Like, I'm not being rude or anything. I just don't want to text.
Right.
And so a lot of times my texts come back short or whatever, you know, and I also don't want to talk on the phone. So I'd rather just talk to a person in person.
Right.
Or just not communicate.
One thing I do like, I do like the Google Hangouts that we do.
Yes.
I feel like it's easier for me to type something, like I'm typing the email, than it is for me to use my fat thumbs to try to text or even call.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that is something completely different. Google Hangouts or like chats. Mm-hmm. I love doing that because especially when I'm at work, it's a lot more seamless than like, okay, going away from my computer, picking up my phone, texting, putting down my phone, going back to the computer.
Yeah.
I almost never text while I'm at work unless it's like making plans or something.
Uh huh.
I just hate doing it. I make everyone do Google Hangouts. Um, but arguments over text, I feel like you said, like the sentiment gets misconstrued and it's just the emotion. You can't really tell. Like I've made so many sarcastic jokes over text that have been taken seriously and end up being an argument.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I was kidding because I thought that your text prior was a joke. So I said my next text is a joke. You know what I mean? It's just like an endless spiral and no one's to blame, but everyone's to blame.
Right.
And it's just like, I can't do it. I hate arguing over text messages, but I also feel like a lot of times for me, I'm guilty of not communicating as much as I should.
Okay.
And I do have a lot of emotions. I'm a very emotional person. If I do say so myself. And I don't always, I express my emotions, but I don't often express why I feel a certain way. And I just expect for people to understand, like, I'm not talking to you because I'm mad. Why am I mad? Well, you figure it out. And that's not fair for anybody. And it's also not very efficient. And I feel like nowadays I want to really practice being more efficient.
That's what it comes down to as we get older. It's like functionality.
Functionality. Don't just be here. Be here and actually do something.
Right.
And I want to do something. So I think it's important to communicate effectively. And if you don't know how to communicate effectively, just communicate. Just start where you can. I'll be honest, like I don't feel like I'm the best communicator. I have a hard time expressing how I feel, even when it comes to like the Black Lives Matter thing. I don't really, I can't really convey how I really truly feel as eloquently as other people I've heard say how they feel.
Right.
But I'm starting. I'm at least saying something, and saying something is better than saying nothing. Right. And I think that's the same way with relationships. You just have to say how you feel right now. And eventually you'll get better at it.
Yes.
Soon we're going to be the best arguers ever.
Soon we will. All we got to do is keep practicing.
Now, how do you feel about bickering? Do you and Rebecca bicker a lot?
Oh, yeah, we love to bicker. As long as it's, as long as we're in good taste and it's playful, I think it's a good way to let off some steam. You can't, like one thing I learned being married is that you can't, even though you're married to your spouse and they're your best friend, they're your lover, all this stuff, you can't talk to them like they're your best friend. Like I can't talk to Rebecca how I talk to you.
Right.
Because
like you hate me.
Right.
Right.
Because she, like, even though I do call her my best friend, one of my best friends, she is my wife. So she lives with me. There's a tender side, like she's vulnerable with me. So, like, for you, I might be like, no, fuck you. You're being weak. You need to stand up and fight for what you believe in.
You're right.
And that'll be it. But with her, I'll be like, no, fuck. And we wouldn't get past the fuck you. How could you? I gave you myself. I gave you my vows.
Oh my God.
And we won't get past the fuck you. So you have to be cognizant of how you speak to your spouse, how they are. Just because y'all are friends doesn't mean that y'all are friends.
Right.
That makes sense. A lot of shit doesn't make sense once you get married. But you just get used to that shit.
And there's also a heavy level of respect.
Absolutely.
That comes with that. Friendship, you don't really have to worry about that line of respect because it's like, at the end of the day, I know you're just kidding, and I know that you'll still be my friend.
Right.
But in a relationship, you have to keep the respect for the equals because this is the person who's paying half your bills. Okay. This is the person who is like taking care of half your kids.
Bitch, do you want to be out on the streets?
Do you want to be out on the streets? Yes or no? You tell me. Then respect this. Respect me.
I feel like that's what Beyonce did with that Lemonade album.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
She was like, do you want to be on the streets? Okay, tighten up.
Tighten up. I'll do it, buddy. I'm making my own money out here.
Oh,
And if you want to be honest, okay, I don't really need you. I
oh,
want you, but I don't
yeah,
need you.
not at all.
So, you take care of your end and I'll take care of mine. So that's that. Do you have any homework for our listeners?
I had a little piece of homework, which
Okay.
was to be assertive. That's one thing I'm still working on, and it's hard for me
Hmm.
when there's a lot of people talking loudly in meetings. Like if it feels like there's bullets going over my head and like bombs going off, and
Bombs over Baghdad.
I want to jump in and say something, but it gives me too much anxiety and angst to say anything. So that's something I'm constantly thinking about along with my power poses is being assertive. And being assertive does not mean that you're being mean. And that's something I had to battle with and when I was like, okay, I need to be assertive, but I'm not a mean person. But being assertive is just being confident or um, having a forceful personality, like forcing yourself to get into the discussion. So practice being assertive. Start with things like if you're at the traffic light um, and you're first in line, race the other two or three people
No,
that are on
no.
the line. Be assertive. Get out there. Step on that gas. Be first.
You know what? If you're not first, you're last.
If you're not first, who are you? Because we don't know. Because all we remember is who wins first. We don't remember who wins second at the Olympics
I
that are
mean, if you're
coming up
not,
in August.
that's so true. If you're not first, you might as well be black.
Ooh, that was deep.
I'm bringing it home.
Damn, you brought that full circle.
So, just so you know. My homework for everyone is to watch Mr. Robot.
Yo, I've heard about that show, but I haven't seen any trailers for it. But it just didn't. I don't know what it's about. What's it about?
Okay. Mr. Robot is essentially about a hacker who
Hmm.
is trying to take over, not take over the world, but is trying to change society.
Hmm.
Essentially, did you see Fight Club?
Kinda. Yes.
So
Bits and pieces.
you know how like kind of the whole idea of it was that if they could take down the major banks, then they could erase debt for everyone.
No, I don't remember that, but that
Okay.
makes sense.
Well, essentially the idea was that if they could bomb the major banks of the world, then no one would have to worry about their debts anymore, and they wouldn't have to be slaves to their jobs, things like that, and they could actually just be like normal humans.
Wow.
It's just essentially the idea of Mr. Robot is that they are trying to take down this major company that holds like the majority of the debts of the world, and what ensues with that. But basically, like the main hacker is a very socially awkward, socially dysfunctional character, and he's like the cutest little guy ever. Oh my god! And it's such a great, beautifully written show.
Hmm.
Like the cinematography of this USA series, which like it's USA, like I don't know, it's kind of weird, but it's so beautiful, and I have to stop myself from watching the next episode because I'm like, I actually really want to savor this. It's like a good piece of chocolate. Like I don't want to eat the whole thing. I don't want to binge on this. I'm still like halfway on the first season just because I'm forcing myself to like wait to watch one episode every other day or something like that. It's really, really good and very insightful. It's kind of the theme of it is like fuck society, like these social constructs that we've grown up with. Like, what do they really mean? You know, when you work for money, what does that money really mean to you?
Mm.
Like, where is your worth? It's ingenious, but I also really like it because they talk about like some heavy technical nerdy shit, and being a web developer, I actually understand like half the things that they're saying,
Hmm.
and I'm like, oh, this is actually legit.
I might give that a try then. Mr.
You
Robot.
absolutely should. You absolutely should. I mean, you of all people would love it. It's an amazing drama, like up there with House of Cards, and things like that.
Now, House of Cards kind of lost me on this, whatever season they're on now. I watched the first 2 episodes and I just found it boring.
You didn't finish the series?
I didn't finish it.
Oh, you gotta finish it.
House of Cards?
Yeah. Gotta finish it.
Okay.
I mean, the first couple episodes are always like a little those series, they're meant to be binged on.
Right.
You know, you can't really like you like network TV. I feel like it's meant to not be binged. Like it's meant to last you week to week. But like those Netflix shows, like you have to watch like half the series in one sitting.
Kind of like HBO Game of Thrones. Like if you watch episode to episode, you're probably going to be bored.
Yeah, exactly.
And not be able to follow, because me and Rebecca, which she offended me because tonight she was like, she called Game of Thrones boring, and I almost pulled out the divorce papers out of the top drawer because
papers.
We got to keep them handy because
right.
Sometimes we both just be saying shit that's like, today might be your day.
Very disrespectful.
It was very disrespectful what she said.
Shame.
It's shame. Shame.
But overall, Game of Thrones is the shit. So
it's the shit.
I won't stand for it. Matt, how can people find out more about you or get in touch with you?
Well, they could email me at apodcasthasnoname@gmail.com. Or they could hit me up on Twitter, just at me at Movie Fiends. Or if you want to send me a pic on Instagram with some commentary, send it to me at Movie Fiends.
Because it goes down in the DM.
It goes down in the DM. And I got 2 phones. So, hit me up.
Okay. Make sure you tell your wife that.
I told her last night.
They got 2 phones?
I got 2 phones.
Wow.
One for the plug and one for the bleep, bleep, bleep.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, well, for me, I have 1 phone, and that has my Twitter, which is Edward L. Jasper, my Instagram, Edward Leon Jasper, and my website, edwardleonjasper.com. Stay tuned for some pretty exciting things that are going to be going down there in the next month.
Why don't you just make your Twitter Edward Leon Jasper so everything can be the same?
Because it's too long of a handle.
No.
Did you know that? They have a cap on how many characters you can have in your handle.
You should send them an email and complain.
Well, they don't listen to black people.
Because black lives don't matter.
Black lives don't matter. But they matter to me, and they should matter to you if you're listening at home. We love you guys so much, and thank you for listening.